Yeah, I think the video just cut off, so if it has, squawk squawk, fellow sorrowers, and welcome back. I hope it has, or I'm going to look really silly now, but I believe it has. Where were we? Yeah, Thomas Sheridan. Yeah, so he covers for the Saturnian Brotherhood. Like, he's always saying, anyone that believes that Satan and Saturn has any connection, or or they don't see that Jesus, being the Son of God, was just the Son, and he does a lot of that sort of business. Yeah, very insulting. It's very insulting because that's his magic trick. He insults you, makes you feel stupid, and then you question why you feel insulted. If I'm insulted by what this person just said, then I obviously don't believe in this subject matter of which he's speaking. I don't believe in it as much as I thought. So not only am I stupid, but I should change what I feel in my heart. It will do that a lot. Always insults you if you believe the earth to be flat, or if you believe in reptilians, or if you believe in Jesus, or anything along them lines. Doesn't matter if you do or you don't insult people for it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's your 5 truth researchers. See, they're not my favourite. That's not what I'm trying to do. That's not going to help you. I'm trying to give you tools to learn the evil and the tools that evil uses to stop you learning. Okay, in all aspects of art. Yeah, so I keep seeing my T-shirt in the recording. It's a prime example, just off the top of my head, to back up the points even further. Fashion. Okay, so those of you that can see, who's this? It's her, isn't it? Yeah. You see? No windows to the soul. Yellow smudged across her lips. Yellow is what? Sex. This is her. This is the machine mother. Machine mummy meme. A ficus. Why am I wearing her? If I'm wearing her, then I'm a shill, right? I mean, it must be. You should see some of my other t-shirts. I'm wearing it because I know what it is. You see the difference? If you let them, I've said this so many times, but if you let them dictate what you say, do, think, feel, how you act, what you wear, they've won, right? They've won. So, as I said, what? I've got pinstripe suits, stuff like that. Well, it's black and white, isn't it? You can't wear it. Of course you can fucking wear it. Of course you can wear it, because you're not wearing it for the energization of evil like they do. You see what I'm saying? That's fine. That's an entirely different thing altogether. If you want to go down that route, I hope you're not wearing any rings. I hope you're not wearing any earrings. I hope you're not wearing any bracelets. I hope you're not wearing any necklaces, because if you are, you're part of the Saturnian Brotherhood, because all this is Saturnian worship. It's all Saturnalia. It is. That's where jewellery, rounded jewellery, comes from. Of course you're not, though, are you? You see what I'm saying? Yeah? Okay. Not off topic, but hopefully that helps. Okay, going to pause it for a second and move on. Oh yeah, that's it. So I just wanted to take the opportunity now to say, any of you that look at, if any of you look up some of the channels I'm subscribed to, you will see quite a lot of shills there. Okay, probably not now actually, because then I realised by subscribing that kind of is giving them something. So most of them I've unsubscribed from, but I still look them up because you can learn from them. Learn from them. Why do I cover the BBC? One, because I don't see anyone else doing it, and two, because I'm trying to show you and tell you what they're showing and telling you by learning from them. If you just watch and listen to, true human beings, and I don't like that term, but what I call carbonites. We're against the silly consciousness. We're carbonites. But if you listen to other sorrowers all the time, that's all you listen to, you're going to learn from them, but you're only learning from goodness. You see what I'm saying? I hope this comes across the right way and doesn't sound chillish, because I'm not condoning any of these cunts, and I will swear there, because they are. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show you that you can still learn from them if you can discern and differentiate their falsehood and their fiction from their truth and their facts, which are very, very rare, but they're there. And they're shiny if you can find them. Good magpie feathers to have. Okay. I thought of a few other examples. They're not very good, but the room that I make most of the videos in now, it's my mother's old room. It's pink and yellow. The walls are pink and yellow. Ooh, dodgy. I didn't paint it. See what I mean? Here's another one. Most of you, I'm sure you know, I sculpt. I'm a sculptor, and the main sculptures that I build are archons. My take on archons. That's funny, isn't it? Why am I building archons if I'm so against them? And you see, it's art, and if you know the difference, you know, where others might build that kind of art to worship, you know, it's in honour and in favour. Not for me. If anything, it's more of a reminder. See, I've showed you before in one of my earliest videos when I started my channel. I showed you that I've got a painting of Lucifer up on my wall. Why would I have that? Well, it's either one or the other, isn't it? Either I'm a shill, or it's what I told you at the time. And I wouldn't have told you. You never would have seen it if I didn't show you, right? You see what I'm saying? If I didn't bring it up. That's the beauty of truth. Even if no one else believes you, you know it's true, don't you? You see? Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I have Lucifer up on my wall because it reminds me of what I'm up against. It's not him. I told you it's worse than that, but the advocate of evil. So that's why. Just another example, yeah. So, okie dokie. Sorry it's going on a bit, but hopefully it's worth it. It is to me always when it comes to all of you. Yeah. Okay. So, here's another one, just while I'm looking up the next little list of 5. Here's another one for you. So, I'm not Christian. I'm not Christian, but I talk a lot about the Creator, don't I, and the Redeemer. But I'm not Christian. I'm not any religion. Does that mean if you are, you should turn off? Maybe you're pagan, maybe you're Wiccan, maybe you're... You see where I'm going with this? You see where I'm coming to? We need to look through and past all of that, or we won't learn, because it will stunt our growth, our pineal growth. Okay, so there's also something I failed to mention in my video regarding the machine and the cogs when I was speaking about deception and absolution. I'll say it now, off topic of this video, but I feel it's important, and I didn't get to say it then, so I'll say it now. There is a difference between doing the right thing and the best thing. Okay, it sounds like an excuse, but it's not. Sometimes you've got to choose, and doing the right thing and doing the best thing are 2 entirely different things. Okay, for example, there might be some things that you haven't lied about, but you haven't brought to light either. Okay, and the right thing would be to commit to admitting. Commit to admit. That would be the right thing to do. tell the person or tell yourself. Maybe it's something you can't admit to yourself. That would be the right thing to do, yeah? But not necessarily the best thing to do, not necessarily the best. The best thing could be for that person to never know. And as deceptive as that sounds, by telling that person, I'm just using it as an example, by telling that person whatever it is that you haven't, it could destroy them. So it wouldn't be the best thing, would it? Do you see where I'm going? Where I'm coming from? That doesn't make you a deceiver. This is my point. We can't keep thinking in these cubes, in these boxes, okay? There is shades of grey. And as long as you know it's not an excuse, you know what it really is protection. Either until the time's right, or knowing that the time will never be right. Knowing that some things are best left unsaid, because they do exist, they do. If that's going to save all the beauty and innocence and protect that person, then it's the best thing to do. It's not the right thing to do, but it's the best thing to do. You see? Shades of grey. Just like what we're talking about. But I'm not condoning any of the people that I have mentioned and will continue to mention. I'm simply trying to educate you all on the art of discerning evil, and how learning about evil can bring you more goodness. Okay? So moving on. One moment. Okay, yeah, moving on. We're gonna cover some artists that can help you further discern evil and show you the fractal segmented puzzle pieces that are all there to be put together. All these, last thing really quick, all these people that I've mentioned, they're all energy vampires, all of them, okay? So just keep that in mind when I say I'm not condoning their agenda, okay? But it's okay to enjoy their art, okay? If you know what you're looking at, if you know what you're listening to. Artists, okay, right at the top, Salvador Dali. It's my favourite artist. And sorry, Neil, Armageddon Consciousness has Dali as his YouTube picture. I know why. I do. It's funny because when I first found you, if you're listening, obviously that was the first thing I saw. And of course the name, Armageddon Consciousness. Now I know why on both counts. But this is what I'm talking about when it comes to discernment and judgment. Again, not the same thing as the right thing and the best thing, okay? I saw that, took one look and was like, you know, well, I know Dali's part of it. And Armageddon Consciousness, well, that sounds like exactly what we're up against, you know, that we're fighting towards. Why'd you make it a name? But see, I didn't feel I should have been using this rather than that. You see? Very easy to look over and overlook these minute details, and vice versa, the other way, when they are truly deceptive. Yeah, even Sorrow the Magpie. Well, sorrow is singular, isn't it? Well, so is evil. Evil's singular. It's all self-serving. all for one and none for anything or anyone else. See? And magpies were one of the main historic ancient symbolisms behind magpies is trickery and deception. See? That's exactly the point. I'm trying to show you, help you find your singularity of focus of consciousness. Razor sharp, laser honed pineal gland, sorrow. Use your sorrow. Don't become it, use it. You're not your sorrow, as I've said before. But it is your weapon. And you are a soldier. You're my sibling soldiers, that's why I call you that. And I'm yours. Yeah. Oh, and the magpie, yeah. It's about turning it on its head. I'm so sorry, I keep digressing, don't I? But it's only to try and back up my work. Where were we? Yeah, Salvador Dali. Okay, well, that bloke knew a lot. He knew a lot, especially at that time. So look into his artwork if you haven't already, and you will see exactly what we're surrounded by. Because he knew. Part of it, from what I've found, yeah, unfortunately, was, I believe he was a Freemason. Again, not all Freemasons are bad. Most of them are just you know, like frat boys. They never find out what's really going on. I don't know, I'd imagine he was a bit deeper into it than that, but nonetheless, beautiful artist, my favourite painter in that regard. David Firth, a little bit different here, but David Firth, all the Fat Pie cartoons that he's made over the years, if you watch his stuff, pick up the vibe, the atmosphere, the mood, the mode of his drawings and his messages, because they're very cryptic and they're funny, you know. But if you look, once again, if you look through and past the comedy, he's telling you exactly what's going on. It's all there, all of it. David Firth. Okay? And yeah, I believe he's part of it, unfortunately, too. I can't pronounce the name of this one. It's very hard. Zadzisław Beksiński. He's a Polish artist. He's known as the Nightmare Artist. Again, look into his work, you'll feel it. As soon as you look at it, you'll feel it. I put some of his artwork in Cavities, my documentary slideshow that I did on the Archons, because that's mainly what he's depicted in it. Not only the Archons, but the dead realm of which they are trapped within. If you want to see the environment of the Archons, the anti-environment, because they've murdered everything in their own realm, look into his paintings. If you can't remember the name, I don't blame you. I'll just write in the Nightmare Artist, okay, and look at what he used from what he was shown from his pineal gland. Because again, it's not just what you're looking at and listening to when it comes to bands and artists, blah, 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 blah. It's what you're going to feel, okay? Whether they're in it or they're out of it. They saw on the other side of it. And so will you, if you look into it, okay? Quinn Michaels, Yeshua Ben David, a truth researcher I've been listening to since I was young, covers Quinn Michaels better than I ever could, but yeah, absolutely into it. Also a reptilian. However, pardon me, yeah, his artwork is more sort of on the nose, sort of animated graffiti-esque, but very on the nose, very, very obvious, more than the ones I've already mentioned. You know, he's always depicting Lilith and the Saturn Moon Matrix, the Soul Trap, Yeah. Yeah. William Blake, another one to look into. You'll see so many depictions of the dragon, okay, which is her. It's her, the demiurge. Okay. Remember, Lucifer was a feminine force. Feminine. Semantics, Lucifer, Satan, demiurge. You know, don't you? You feel. I actually have one more. I threw William Blake in because I only just remembered him. I mean, there's others. There's Edvard Munch as well. The scream painting. If you look into that, you'll see all the colour coding. The scream of nature, as he called it. It's all there once again. You know, one mother feeding off the other. But no, the fifth was actually H.R. Geiger. H.R. Geiger did the artwork for the xenomorphs in the Alien films, and the planetary systems that you'll see in Prometheus and Alien Covenant and whatnot. If you look into that again, it's he channeled that from the Archontic realm, Dead World, the Dead World. Loads are coming up now. Here's another. I can't remember his name. My favourite comics have always been 2000 AD, in particular the Judge Dredd comics, because they are one, or at least some of the best portrayals of dystopian satire I've ever seen in a comic, and majority of what they're showing you in them comics is happening right now, if not already happened, and it's gonna. However, the Dark Judges are from a different dimension, and they are Archons, and all the telltale traits are there, and they come from a dimension called Dead World, where they've murdered everything living on it, and now they've moved over to us. Sorry, I can't remember his name, but yeah, just type in Dark Judges, look at the artwork, you'll see straight away. Yeah, okay. Trying to fasten up now because I don't want to make this too long. I apologise. But I'm just trying to, as I said, I'm trying to bring to light some help. I want to help heal the hurt and the harm. Okay. So we're moving on to directors. As I said, we can do actors, but I don't think it's really worth your time. I mean, it's the directors. I was going to say it's the directors that have the overall, you know, what goes and what stays when it comes to films. It's not entirely true, but the directors that I've chosen is true with them. Okay, so you'll notice most of these are horror directors. Now, whether you're not into horror films, that's beyond the point. The reason I've chosen horror directors, and it weren't meant to be either, but the reason why majority of these five are, is because you have to remember and never forget that the horror you're seeing in really good horror films, you know, like Dark City, or which I consider one, Hellraiser is a prime example. Naked Lunch. Anyway, it's horror because horror films scare you, right? Why is it scaring you? Because you're sensing something in it that is threatening. Why would it threaten you if you didn't feel on some level or degree, or to some extent, that it could occur? You see? So horror films in particular hold the most truth to the horror of this reality of which we're experiencing. Okay, so John Carpenter, again, yeah, he is one of my favourite directors. I grew up with his films, but he's telling you a lot. he's telling you a lot in his films. I know the one that all the truth researchers like to bring up is They Live, and for good reason, for good cause. But yeah, I'll give you an example of how they're showing you one thing, telling you another, or telling you one thing and showing you another. So take They Live, for example. Showing you what, as Truth Dogs mentioned, showing you what it really is to go through this reality as a true human being surrounded by Tez, essentially, whether that be, as I've said, reptilians or Canaanites or the Mantids or whatnot. But I, wanting to be a director my whole life, I always used to listen to the commentaries of the films of my favourite directors. And in the commentary to They Live, Rowdy Roddy Piper, the main character, he's doing the commentary of John Carpenter, and he asks him, he says, so do you, keep in mind John Carpenter's made at least 4 or 5 films on the subject of aliens, so They Live, The Thing, Starman, there's a few others I believe. But yeah, Rowdy Roddy Piper, he asks John Carpenter in the commentary, so you make all these films, depicting the science or the biology or the the repercussions of aliens and alien invasion and all that. Do you actually believe in aliens? And John Carpenter pauses for a minute. He does this nervous little laugh and he just goes, no. no, I don't. But no, forget it. That's what he says. Do you get that? Do you know why he said that? He's being honest. He don't believe in aliens because he knows they're not real. But he knows what is real. You see where I'm going with this? See where I'm coming to? He knows they're not extraterrestrial. He knows they're interdimensional though. And he went to say it, but he didn't. Because he knew it'd be his arse. You see? Yeah. A lot of truth in plain sight with that one. Yeah. Moving on, David Cronenberg, another one of my favourite directors. Yeah, these are all sellouts, by the way, unfortunately. They are all part of this. They're all part of this megalomaniacal evil on screen. But yeah, David Cronenberg's another, very telling, his work. If you want to see what's going on around you, watch his films. David Lynch would be another, again, one of my favourite directors. But yeah, it's all there for anyone to see who has the eyes to. All 3, as I know you do. I'd like to believe I do too. Yeah, he's in it. But yeah, David Lynch. In particular, Inland Empire, Mulholland Drive, you watch them, he's shown you what it is that the elites do to gain more knowledge, not wisdom, knowledge from the Archons and crossing over in dimensions and things like that. Yeah, it's very subtle, but he's telling you, showing you. And last but not least, Clive Barker. One of my favourite films of all time is Hellraiser. The Cenobites are Archons. They are extra-dimensional. That film alone, if you watch that film alone, it's all there. The obvious being the Lament configuration, which is, of course, the box, the cube. But it's all there. And what do the Cenobites worship? Leviathan. Leviathan's female. It's all there. All of his work, it will, almost every piece of literature, artwork, because he's a painter also, and I'd say films, but most of his films directed by other people, just his story. But all his stories are showing you exactly where we are and what they are and the reasons behind why we're here and why they do what they do. So as I say, you don't have to like these sellouts. You don't have to like them. But it's okay to like their artwork when you know where it's coming from and where it's going to. Okay? So hopefully I've taught you something through this. I'm so sorry. My sorrow that it's gone on this long, but it did feel necessary. As I say, try not to believe in the ones that you've grown up and believed to be your heroes. You don't have to believe in them. Believe in yourself when you indulge in what it is about them that you like, because it isn't really them. It's not really them. It's what you sensed all along to be truth. Unfortunately, it's nestled in lies. But you're true, aren't you? You're real, aren't you? You're pure, aren't you? So use your eye more than these two, and you'll see right behind and right through. Who am I, Dr. Zeus? He's another one. Let's end it there. Hope it's helped. Hope it's helped heal the hurt and harm. Oh, last thing. It's okay to filter some of these art forms into the art that you do. There's nothing wrong with that either, okay? Because it's still yours. You're just using an influence, okay? Doesn't mean you condone the actions of the influencer, all right? You're your own creator that was created by the one creator in his image to create whatever you see fit. Just make sure what you create leads to goodness rather than evil. I winked at your one eye symbolism. Love you all, whether it be on the inside or the outside. I'll see you on the other side of the cube.